My name is Nanette Davis, and I've been in Worcester between 27 to 28 years, and I'm originally from New York. I came for a visit because some family members of my ex-husband was living here, and they considered Plumley Village and Lakeside and Great Brook Valley ghettos, and I was astonished at the atmosphere of those particular places for them to be called ghettos. Because if you go to New York ghettos, they are real ghettos. So I was shocked, and I wanted to find a better place for my children to raise them and to give them a 50-50 chance. But as it worked out, it doesn't matter where you live, violence can come to you no matter what city you live in or what area you live in, whether it's rich, poor, or middle class. Um, and I can testify to that. Well, Women Together came together actually out of a tragedy. My son was killed in 2003, and at a vigil, I was speaking at a vigil for my son, and the words that I spoke touched some of the women that was living in the neighborhood and that attended the wake. And through that, they called me, and I needed some people to come together and find out why this is happening to these young people, especially minority people at that time, young men. And so they called me, and we started a group called Women Together. And the thing that fascinated me about Women Together when we first came together was that it was made up of all different nationalities of women, of all ages of women. And we all had the same bond of we need to help one another and find out why these young men can just easily take another person's life.
Women Together is a conglomeration of all types, sizes, shapes, colors of women in the neighborhood. It represents our neighborhood pretty well. It's pretty diverse.
And I was so impressed with the violence in the neighborhood. So I knew that the women were going to meet on Saturday for coffee. So I wanted to be part of this.
I didn't know anyone here, and I wanted to become involved in my neighborhood like I always had been. I like to get to know people, and I want a community to live in.
I like the idea of having something, positive in my life, and Women Together is very positive.
The first really big thing that Women Together did as a group was to do what's now an annual event called the 100 Women Sweep. It's an Earth Day cleanup event, which acts as a physical cleaning of the neighborhood, getting everybody out there wearing pink shirts, coming together, and cleaning up trash on the streets in the neighborhood. When Women Together first became interested in the property around the 100 Women Sweep cleanups, and the Winslow lot was an overgrown lot, had been vacant for 30 years, had a ton of illegal dumping going on in it, wasn't taken care of at all, was owned by a landlord who, though he lived in the neighborhood, was very much so absentee. The grass was probably like 2 feet high. There's a lot of overgrowth, a lot of trash, a lot of appliances, car parts. It's very unusual in a neighborhood like this to have such a large chunk of land that's not doing anything at all, just getting dumped on. And so people started sort of thinking about that then and thinking about what to do. And then Susan Lazaritis came to the group after a murder happened right behind her house, the murder of a woman named Jennifer Morales, who was murdered in her apartment. After that occurred, Susan came to the group with a proposal, like a drawn picture proposal of what a memorial peace park could look like on this corner, that this corner wasn't doing anything. What could it do to be positive in the community?
Susan brought up the idea about the park. We looked at each other and we were like, oh no, this will never happen. It was a dream. And we said, well, we need the experience, one. We need the exposure as a group. And so what could there be wrong with, trying it?
the group sort of latched onto that idea and got excited, and it seemed like this huge undertaking dream. What could we do? How could we do it?
Some people did some research, found out who owned the property, found out how much the property cost, and really had to do some digging. Ann and Mary Keith, and they went into talking to lawyers and landowners, and just a lot of things that they had to do to come up with how could we make this work for women together. And by the way, we didn't have any money. I think we had $50.
Around that time, we met someone from the Greater Worcester Land Trust who let us know about the urban self-help grants, which are grants that come from the state that go into different communities based on community need, and partner with the city and sometimes partner with nonprofit groups as well. So we found out about that, and we tried to do it in 2006. We tried to get a grant application in, and it didn't happen fast enough. But instead, we got a grant from the Institute for Urban Ecology, which was a design grant, which set us up with some funds to work with two students from the Conway School of Landscape Design to help us vision what could this park look like? How much space do we have? What could we put here? What are people's needs and desires, and what would we like to see here? After the design process was done, we had a beautiful dream design, and then we brought it to the city and asked the city if they would work with us to apply for the urban self-help grant.
The city saw that we were really going to do this and trying to do this, so they came aboard. I got to give my hats off to them, because you have a lot of parks in Worcester, but you never had the city come together with a bunch of women to discuss what we want and how we want this park to look and what this park means to the neighborhood and means to women together.
I hope we're building a model that will make it easier for them to do it in the future, that they'll understand some of what grassroots community groups' needs are, desires are, that kind of thing. I know that it's good. This project, I think, is really good for the city in that it's really innovative. It's like on a state level, people are very excited about this project, and the city right now is looking for things to bring attention to Worcester. Worcester wants to be sort of in the spotlight statewide right now. So I'm hoping that more things like this, more community-owned and felt projects will be brought as a positive way to shine light on the city.
I don't want it to be one area in Worcester where you have people discussing about kids and what they do. You need it to be a citywide thing, and because you're talking about a city. If you have one neighborhood that's okay and you have 5 neighborhoods that still have problems, well, what's to say that those neighborhoods are not going to roll back into the neighborhood that you straighten out? So it's best that we reach out to other neighborhoods and help them organize a Women Together organization, give them what we have learned through what we do, because it was trial and error all the way for Women Together, and then see if we can save some lives. That's what we need to be doing right now.
Sweet as apple cider. Everybody dance now. Sweeter than all I know. Come out now in a silvery moonlight. We're gonna wiggle and whisper, so soft and low.
It feels good. It feels real good. You know, finally we got our park after a lot of effort.
For 2 years we work in this project, and now we are here in the beginning of the new life for the community.
I understand that you're part of Women Together and the park opening on the 9th.
That's right.
Oh, great. And
It was fantastic.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So great. I was so happy, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Well, I think the park is nice. I mean, there was a while there and I says, oh, I was thinking to myself, no way, it's not going to happen. But it did happen because we all got together and made it happen and worked as a team.
It really gives a chance for neighbors to fellowship together, and it's just such a, what used to be an eyesore, it's such a pleasure right now. And I think the best thing to see is that it's possible to have a vision, and for that vision to be a reality.
So who's this we have in the carriage over here?
My baby sister, Leilani.
Oh, that's her baby sister. Hello, Leilani. How are you? You like the park? You say yes? Yeah?
Just talking to Carmen, my friend, who loves this park. She lives down the street. She has a daycare business, so she's already using it every day. She comes with the kids, and it's very safe for them. They can run around. I was talking to some people in the high-rise too, and they were so excited to have this park too, because they can come and play dominoes. They can just walk around and do some exercise. Everybody's thrilled in the neighborhood. What a gift.
And I think that this group proves that you could come out and not just see what is, but see what could be. And that's the powerful thing. As we sit here today, we celebrate not just all the lacks of our community, but the potentials and possibilities of our community and our people.